The air smelled of sunblock and ocean, and whenever the bus crept through an intersection, Maddy could see flashes of glittering blue sea. She listened to the rhythm of the traffic swishing by and wondered if the Venice Beach home for children would be close enough to the beach to walk. She listened to the rhythm of her own flawed heart. She tried not to listen too closely to the rhythm of all the happy people outside, with friends and families of their own. "Do all new homes do that same introduction game?" came a small voice next to her. Maddy started and turned to the girl sharing her bus seat, whose name was something pretty that started with a T and had a rhythm like a waterfall. Waterfall T was much younger than Maddy and clearly nervous. She sat on her hands and bounced a little in her seat. Maddy smiled at her. "You mean the one where you have to remember everyone's name and say what they're bringing to the picnic?" asked Maddy. When the girl nodded, Maddy replied, "Not all of them, but a lot do." "Oh," said Waterfall T quietly. "I liked that game." And then she blinked hard, twice. Maddy knew that blink. That was the blink that said, "I had friends at my old home, and a life, and now they are sending me someplace where I don't know anyone. What if they yell? What if no one likes me?" That blink was one of the worst parts of being a group home kid. "Want to play a game I made up?" asked Maddy. She hardly ever played something perfect with anyone else, not since she'd realized that she could see and hear things that others couldn't. While she could usually recognize magic right away, every now and then, something that was magic looked normal, and something that was normal looked magic. She loved that she could see the magic, but she didn't love the way other kids treated her when they couldn't, so she had learned it was safer to not mention it. But Waterfall T looked so sad. Maddy would just have to be extra careful to only choose things that were clearly, plainly, not magic. Things she was sure everyone could see. Waterfall T stopped bouncing. "Okay," she said. "Here's how you play," said Maddy. "We both look out the window and find one thing that we think is perfect. Then we tell each other what it is and decide which one we like best. Okay?" Waterfall T chewed her lower lip. "Like what?" Maddy paused. What something perfects had she seen lately that she knew for sure weren't magic? Like a flower growing out of the sidewalk. Or, a plastic bag that's floating in the air like a parachute. Things like that. Waterfall T grinned and pointed out the window. "Like that dog with a purple collar?" "Nice job," said Maddy. "See, you're a natural." Maddy turned back to the window to take her turn. A man rode by on a bicycle, a battered surfboard tucked under one arm, and his hair in dark ropes down his back. His bike frame, wheels, and handlebars were decorated with furry yellow fabric, and purple lights flashed from his spokes. "There," said Maddy. "That bike." Waterfall T leaned halfway across Maddy to look, and then nodded vigorously. "You win. Now you go first." And so it was that Maddy was looking carefully out the window when the bus crawled past a sign that read, "Welcome to Venice, California," which was right next to a low concrete wall with blue waves painted across the bottom. So it was that she noticed when the biggest cat she had ever seen jumped to the top of that wall. So it was that she was paying close attention when the cat turned to look right at her, as though on purpose. Maddy leaned eagerly toward the window. Even from here, she could see the cat was magic. The cat's nose was flat and broad, its tail thin and tufted, and the fur around its head was long enough to maybe count as a mane. Running along either side of its spine were twin ridges of fur.